welcome back to Rammers of the South Stand here, and we are back with your Bristol City preview after the international break. How are we all doing? I hope you're doing fantastically well, and we are back with another preview. So, my last preview in this house, my last preview in Australia actually, I'm heading back to the UK next week, which is fantastic news. Going to be looking to interact with you guys a lot more, interacting with your Leeds TV a lot more, and looking forward to getting back to Ellen Road. I think my first game back is going to be on I think we're going to play QPR, I think it's a Monday, and I'm going to that game. Can't get tickets for Bristol, unfortunately. I think I'll still be jet lagged, so I'm just going to miss that one out. If you want to come meet me down at the ground, give us a message, all this sort of stuff, we'll try to get you on the channel. But anyway, into your preview. So, Bristol City. Normally I start these previews by saying it's going to be another tough task. We're going to go there and we're going to try and get the win, yada yada. But this one is a little bit different for me. Leeds have been beaten 4-1 pretty convincingly, and we need to come back with a bit of a bang, and Leeds need to respond. We need a huge response. We need the right team selection, and we need a massive response from those 11 and the substitutes involved. Bristol City, mixed bag again. They're not doing as prolific as they did last season, but there's still always a team. It's always in the Championship. There is always a team who's going to sort of like muck you up. It happens all the time. West Brom was a little bit more obvious, but you know, the likes of Millwall, Birmingham, Blackburn, etc., etc. These are the teams that can stifle your progress. They do it all the time. It's consistent, and you wouldn't be surprised if you turn the Championship on Sky Sports and there's a 3-0 win to Bristol City, or there's a 6-0 win to Leeds, or it's just that crazy. We know it with the West Brom, Derby and Leeds triangle. It is that mental, this league. You do not know what is going to happen. There needs to be reaction. There needs to be a huge reaction, and for me, this game is all about how he sets up. And I think we can stifle them by how we set up. But the issue is, it's going to be another game where we've seen Bristol City set up with 5 at the back in previous encounters, and they're a very defensive team this season. They seem to be a lot more defensively sound than they were in previous seasons, and maybe not as good going forward, sort of like with the likes of Bobby Reid moving on. It's going to be, I do think it's going to be a tough one, and I'm not maybe as confident as a lot of Leeds fans on this one. I think it's going to be a real tough game, and I think from a personal standpoint, we need January so bad. I think we need to make changes. I think there needs to be 2 or 3 players brought in. I don't think there will be 2 or 3 players brought in, which is a worry for me. I think Bielsa has a lot of confidence in his players, which is fantastic. And maybe we'll see a reaction. Maybe we'll see a reaction in February, late January, when Bielsa hasn't brought anyone in. Maybe the players will think, well, do you know what? We're being trusted. We're going to even up the levels even more. We're playing some fantastic football this season, but I do think, as I've said in previous videos, these past 6 or 7 weeks have been pretty... I mean, the football's been great, but the clinical nature of the squad just isn't there at the minute. We're not finishing chances, we're not finishing teams off, and I think the likes of Izzy Brown, when he comes back fully fit, it's going to be a revelation, we hope. So we'll have to see, won't we? But what are we going to expect from Bristol City? I think we're going to expect a defensive formation. I think they're going to want Leeds to come at them, and then maybe they're going to hit Leeds on the counter-attack, like we've seen with numerous teams. Teams have got our blueprint now. Teams know how to play against Leeds, so we've got to figure out a way around that, a plan B, a plan C. I think once again, I'm going to bang on the drum again. It's a worry about Dallas. I think it's a massive worry, but it's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those where Leeds are going to have to do it. Leeds are going to have to play him there. I don't think Bristol City will be going at Dallas as much as Barnes did and Phillips when they interchanged on either wing, so that could be positive for him. I do think you either start Shackleton or Gotts, which I've said on numerous occasions, but I don't think he'll do that. And the big worry is Janssen out. Now, if Janssen is out, I know Oscar's pretty it's banging on the drum of Shaughnessy a bit. I'm not confident in Shaughnessy at all. I think he really struggles when players run at him. He might be neat and tidy on the ball, but I don't think he's very confident as well. For a big lad, he's not great in the air, and I do worry with Shaughnessy. But if he's the only option, you know, Bielsa hasn't loaned him out like he did with Paul O'Connor. He clearly has a little bit of confidence in him. It does worry me that he's not featured a little bit more, because if he had a little bit more confidence in him, he'd feature more than once this season so far, and he hasn't. So for me, that tells you all you need to know. I don't know how Leeds will play it actually, because if Janssen's injured, will he bring Phillips back, and then will he bring Shaughnessy into a back 3? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Janssen's going to be fit. I think we've had these sorts of things before, haven't we, where we don't know until the last minute, and then you find out that Hernandez is out for six, 7 weeks. I don't think it'll be that extreme, but I wouldn't be surprised to sort of see a 2-week job. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that. I think you could sort of bring Phillips back. I probably would go to a back three. Interesting, wouldn't it, to see, because I've seen it happen before. He did it in a couple of pre-season games last season when Barry Douglas went to a back three for Wolves, and I'd be interested to see if he'd ever do that and sort of slip Alioski into a left wing back role. And then bring Clark on the left wing. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see that actually. But I don't think we're going to be on the back foot for a lot of this game. I think we're going to be going forward. I think the only stipulation with this game would be the counter-attack, and I think Bristol City could get us on the counter-attack, but I think it'll be a battering ram again. I think Leeds are going to be pressing and maybe, hopefully, getting through. Big question as well, would I start Saiz? I probably wouldn't, and I called for him in the West Brom game. I had a little bit of a think about it really afterwards, and I think the West Brom game, he needed to be brought on earlier, but I also said I think they should have started, and I don't think he should have started. The reason behind that is because I don't think his attitude's right at the minute. Maybe a little bit overweight this season. It does look out of fitness. I know they were talking about it, and I've listened to a couple of podcasts. It's interesting actually. Doesn't seem to be hitting those dizzy heights, and I think there's definitely an attitude problem there, and I think that's the reason he was dropped to the 23s. Definitely an incredible player on his day, but I think Adam Forshaw's looked really good when he's came on, to be honest. So yeah, I think you start with Forshaw. I think he's looking good at the minute. I didn't think he looked great against West Brom, but you know, a lot of people said that he was one of our best players. I disagree. But you know, we're against a high-flying West Brom that day, and I don't think you'll get many teams playing like that against Leeds United this season. I think we'll control 95% of games this season. So I'm going to predict there's going to be a few dislikes on this. I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw. I've said it on the group as well with all the Leeds lot. I think we just need a little bit of a sparkle at the minute. I think we need something in January, a little bit, something in that creative department. Maybe an Izzy Brown coming back, and I think Leeds will reach that next level. But at the minute, I just think it's a little bit stagnant, and it wouldn't surprise me to see a 1-1 draw. But I'm just praying we sort of are able to overcome that, and I hope I'm proved wrong, but I'm going to go with a 1-1. Leave your comments and predictions in the box below, guys, because I'd like to go through them. I might just try to start making it a feature each week where Oscar, me, and Joe predict the scores, and we do sort of like a ranking system, something similar to that. That'd be interesting to see if we did that. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go with a Kemal Roof goal. I think it's going to be an equaliser. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Look out for Joe and Oscar's video, and I'll see you in a bit, guys.